Good morning. Welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to do a recap of day one of the framing of our Breezeway project. I need to do a recap because the footage from yesterday, about half of it is damaged. The camera just kept crashing. No idea why it does that once in a while. And also a good chunk of it was in burst mode. I really hate the controls on this GoPro. I wish there was a way to take off like burst mode and time-lapse photo and a couple other things. They just really annoy me. On a sunny day, which is what it was, it's impossible to see the menu screen, and you have to be real careful as to what you select. And of course I selected the wrong thing on several of the sequences, so it's just not even worth trying to stitch all that garbage together. So I'll just give you a recap. The day was mostly things going wrong and going to get tools from the shed. I must have went to the shed 100 times. You know, every time I think, well, what else am I going to need? And oh well. So it was not a productive day. This is as far as I got. But let me show you what did happen. First of all, I needed to open up this wall. Oh, and I had to keep running upstairs. I don't have a full drawing for this, and I do that kind of stuff for a living. I should have a drawing, but I didn't. Anyways, I had to go upstairs and jump on the computer to see how high I needed to open things up. Another waste of time. But I opened up this house wrap to expose the rain screen. I'll have to get into that later, what a rain screen is, but it's basically foam that's attached to the OSB on your house, and it's got these cleats or furring strips that are screwed through the foam directly into the studs, and then your siding hangs from this. This acts as house wrap. It's got about the same qualities as the house wrap. It will allow moisture to escape if there's any moisture in there, but any like actual water that gets into the wall will just drain down the wall. And at the bottom you put these it's called core vent, and I'll show you that when we work on the breezeway, when we get to that point. But anyways, these are held in place by pole barn spikes. They go through the 2-inch foam directly into the stud, and they're, I don't know, maybe 8 inches long, somewhere around there. They're big, heavy-duty galvanized nails. So I started by using oscillating tool, thinking I was going to cut them off with that. No way. So I used the grinder with a cutoff wheel on it, which melts the sparks melt this a little bit, but that'll be fine. No big deal there. So actually not a lot went wrong with that. I took the circular saw and cut below and above each one of the nails and then just busted the wood out. This wall was exposed to the weather for way too long, and it wasn't supposed to be exposed at all. And that's because we were supposed to do this job right here the year after we built the house, and then things came up every year. You know, we bought horses, we bought the next land over here, we bought the land across the street, we bought the land over there. So tons of things came up that didn't allow this to happen. So the first thing we did to protect the foam was to paint it, and then the second thing we did was putting this house wrap on it. So that's why this is like that, with this dumb paint and stuff on there. I'll have to deal with that later. But anyways, back to the construction. So that kind of went off without a hitch, except the cheap little vent that's Panasonic, I believe, or is it Brown? No, it's a Brown bathroom vent, or heater slash vent in the bathroom in there. This outside louvered thing just disintegrated. I just tugged on it a little bit and it just fell completely apart. It's like less than a 32nd of an inch thick is what it feels like. It's just garbage. So now I have that to deal with. I have to get a new one, but my wall is right here. It goes right up the center of where that furring strip was. So I'm going to have some issues with where that comes out. That will be just inside of the trusses up there, which I figured it was supposed to be there, but it's real close to the end. So the final truss that's up against the wall here is not really structural. So I'm going to have to cut it away right there and get that vent around and have it come out the breezeway, the side of the breezeway up there. Again, not that big of a deal. Then we get to these. The delivery, the stuff that we ordered, Menards actually, they didn't have part of the order in stock. So what they did was they just changed the order and filled it partially and didn't notify us. So when we did our order pick, we just went off their sheet of stuff that was paid for. We picked it up, brought it to the desk where they wrapped it up and delivered it. It was missing, and I should have noticed that it was missing the majority of our studs, our 6-inch studs. So now Natalie and I have to run to town today and pick up 35 studs. We have part of the lumber here, but oh well. So run to town for that. I got the sill plates laid out, the sill plate, whatever you want to call it. Got that laid out and put it on over the bolts. They put the bolts in an inch and a half to an inch and 5/8 sticking up out of the concrete. So they don't come up high enough to even get a washer on. I tried with one of my nice square washers there. You can't even get a washer on it, let alone a nut. So they're useless. All the way around, they're useless. And I thought, when he was putting them in, they were only like 4 inches long. And I'm thinking, what the hell is that? They should be like 8 inches long or 10 inches long. I mean, they make them real long where you tie them into the rebar, but it's a total fuck up. So Cindy and Natalie had to run to town to get some Red Hat anchors, where I will just drill down and pound in anchors and do it that way. That was before I realized that we didn't have the studs. I got to the point where I needed the studs, and I double checked the measurement right here from here to here, because these LVLs are never the width that they are supposed to be. In construction, it generally doesn't matter all that much. It's off by 1/8 of an inch. So this measurement came to 82 1/8, and I'm thinking, well, 1/8 inch, big deal. I didn't cut the studs yet, so I'll just cut them to 82 1/8. But then I realized, well, that's the wrong dimension. I have a door that goes in here, and it has a sill part that goes into the bottom. That's not even big enough for the door. So I had to run upstairs again, turn on the computer, check the drawings. This is supposed to be a 14-inch header, not a 16. That was my fault. I ordered the wrong damn ones. the rim joists are 16-inch. These are supposed to be 14. So somehow I got it in my head that they were all 16, and I screwed that up. So now I gotta, luckily these are held in place. I didn't glue them or anything. And they're held in place by 3 spacks. So I'm going to unscrew them and just trim this down on the table saw. It's going to be a little difficult running this through the saw, but I think I'll probably do that. My brother-in-law or my sister and brother-in-law and a bunch of other people are coming tomorrow, so I may wait and do it then. It's not that big of a deal. I can lift this by myself, so we might do that. I don't want to carry it across the street, so we'll rest it on the gator and drive it across. Put it on the saw. I have a roller stand, so you get it halfway through the saw, move the roller stand to the outfeed, and run it the rest of the way. And you have 2 helpers, so I'd like to get it done today, so hopefully I can do that. So those are those 2 things, and then what else happened? There was just a ton of little stuff was going wrong, but a lot of it was, running back and forth constantly to the greenhouse, to the shed, to get this, to get that, and, lugging around this big, long, these 20-footers. These are quite heavy too, these treated 20-footers. But in the end, it's ready to go. I'm going to unscrew that, get it trimmed, put it back on, and then this whole thing gets filled with studs. They get, where is that? They get screwed in from the bottom on the full length ones with these GRK fasteners, which are made for treated wood. So the long ones, the full length ones, get screwed up with 2 of these through the bottom, and then there is the ones right below the windows that are half size. Those are going to be pocket screwed down from the top. The entire window and door area is headered by, there's 2 of these, and there's foam sandwiched in between, which is going to actually go in after I tip it up. Yeah, not the best day. And to top things off, there was 0 rain in the forecast, so I was exhausted at the end of the day. I actually started the day before sunrise mixing up some sprays. I had to get some sprays done, and I did 3 sprays down here and 2 of them along Battle. So by the time it was getting dark, I was just totally exhausted, and I left my tools out, which was dumb, but it wasn't supposed to rain, and the tools got wet. I made a video on that. They're all fine, including this. This was just like this, except it was plugged in. This was out in the rain as well, and it is just fine. So look for that video as well. So that's how the day ended up. And now we have to, like I said, we have to head to town. Oh, let me show you one more thing before I wrap this up. It got to a point where there was absolutely nothing I could do because the girls were in town. They couldn't help move that wood over here and get it sawn up or anything like that. And there was nothing left I could do over there without the studs. So I came over here and jogged that. Well, first I moved the table saw over there. Then I jogged the Farmall A, little bit here, and then until I could get it out on an angle here, and rolled it out. And then that too, I figured it wasn't going to rain. So usually I tip the seat up, which needs replacing because these are crappy seats. These they're supposed to be a replacement seat, but they're just junk from China. So I cleaned up in here. I got well, at least enough to work. Got the tractor out. Got the saw set at 14 inches. Got a roller set up. Got it ready to get that over here. And I got to saw all 4 of them down to 14 inches. There's no way I'm taking those back and trying it that way. So that'll be a big task as well, but it won't be too hard. Okay, and what else? There was one other thing. Let me shut this down. Oh, the foam. That did not get on the order either, and it should have been. That was my fault as well. And I don't know what the hell happened with that, but can't remember. But Natalie and I have to get that off the truck today. I made a spot in the greenhouse. I was cleaning. Okay, I don't know what I missed there. The camera just crashed again. I'm sending this thing back. I'm going to have them replace it. The last thing is this foam. I cleared out the greenhouse this morning. I've just been cleaning all morning because we have company and got to get things organized for that. So this stuff is surprisingly heavy when it's wrapped in a bundle like this. So I got to back this up by the greenhouse. Natalie and I got to get this unloaded, and then we have to go get 35 2x6 studs. So busy day. And lastly, it is not supposed to rain. There is no rain in the forecast. It's just supposed to be partially cloudy today, and we have rain clouds in the sky. Natalie's app on her phone says it's going to rain today. Weather Underground says nope. I'm not going to trust Weather Underground. They were wrong last time. So I got to get my saw covered up. I already got everything else the hell out of here. I had tools scattered everywhere. You got to see that other video. I got to get that stack of lumber, or the sheet goods. I'll get that under cover, get this covered, and the rest of this stuff is fine. So make sure you stop back. I will have the studs today, and the next thing I'll be doing is I'll be hauling these monsters across the street, ripping them down to 14 inches, putting this one back on, and then I'm going to be running studs all the way across. Then I get to tip this wall up, which I'm probably going to do with the gator. Try to get the gator back there and pull it up. I'll have some people here, but one of them's, or everybody's got some kind of injury, so if I have this so that it pushes up against the bolts and stuff, and use the gator and the winch to pull on it, I should be able to make it a little easier. Yeah, should be pretty interesting. So if you have any comments or questions, make sure you put them in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe, give us a like, and click on the update icon so you're notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.